What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Dreamcatcher. Yes, indeed, Dreamcatcher fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Charles B, and this is actually one of Charles's 3 prioritized requests for the month of May for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Charles. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Charles wanted to see me react to this song by Dreamcatcher called Deja Vu. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. As always, Charles has provided a bit of an intro for me to read to y'all, so here we go. Last month for Dreamcatcher, you reacted to Piri from 2019, and now you'll move to the last single they released that same year, Deja Vu. Now, I will get into the details and importance of this track in a bit, but first, you have another Dreamcatcher track that you're reacting to this month, which is Chase Me. I've already reacted to it, yes. Unfortunately, I wanted to request Chase Me for later in the year, but still, I will take the time to give context to this song because it's just as important in Dreamcatcher's history as Deja Vu. To remind you, back when you did your first reaction to Dreamcatcher for the 2018 single What, I told you in the intro for it that in 2014 they started as a typical, very cute and bubblegum K-pop girl group called Minx, but they flopped big time. So their management took a big creative swing and totally changed their concept and music direction to a K-pop rock fusion sound and going for a dark gothic visual concept. They then re-debuted 3 years later. Yeah, you got to give it time to be forgotten. I understand that. They then re-debuted 3 years later with their new name Dreamcatcher, along with releasing the single album Nightmare with Chase Me as the single. This was the start of not just their new identity, but their 2017 to 2019 era. While I was hoping to have personally requested Chase Me later this year, you're reacting to that track this month, along with this track, Deja Vu, ends up serving as an unintended bookend, since Chase Me was the start of their change in artistic direction, and Deja Vu is the end of Dreamcatcher's very important 2017 to 2019 era. Okay, so it kind of ended up working out. So after establishing the importance of Chase Me and its start for Dreamcatcher, let's now get to Deja Vu, which represents this era's end. Deja Vu is the main single for Raid of Dream, an EP released on September 18th, 2019. That was considered a special album, in quotes, as it was in collaboration with the Korean RPG mobile game King's Raid. I've heard of King's Raid, I think. Never played it, but I've heard of it, I believe. The big reason why this track marks the end of Dreamcatcher's significant 2017 to 2019 era is that Deja Vu would be the last main Korean single for Dreamcatcher that would feature a genuine mix of rock and K-pop. From this point on, their South Korean main singles would essentially drop the real rock instruments and replace them with lots of EDM and digital elements mixed with pop to appeal to the general Korean public more. Oh boy. Which you sampled in a previous reaction with the original version of Wind Blows. I remember that. All this despite Dreamcatcher gaining popularity with their genuine K-pop rock fusion sound outside of South Korea. See, sometimes record labels need to just kind of take their fingers off the keys and just let them say, you know what, why don't you guys just, let's see what you can do. You know, just take your fingers out of the pie, guys. Seriously. I'm sorry, it's upsetting to me when record labels just step on their own product. God, anyway. Dreamcatcher would still make Korean tracks, but they are real K-pop/rock fusions, but they'd be limited to B-sides and deep cuts. The grand majority of K-pop fans who have no real experience with rock confuse their Korean main singles released after 2019 as still being K-pop/rock fusions. Nope, EDM. Most of these K-pop fans not only misinform others with these post-2019 tracks as supposedly being representative of this type of fusion sound, but request these tracks to rock reaction channels instead of the 2017 to 2019 tracks I have requested for you so far, which do actually represent their K-pop/rock fusion concept and would appeal to them much more. Probably would. One particular hard rock and metal reaction channel was requested one of their singles from 2021 and was so turned off that he permanently banned Dreamcatcher from his channel. Which channel is that? I'd like to know. I'd like to know because I'd like to have them on the channel and talk to them about that. Anyway, see how much backlash he got for banning him. The K-pop fans who requested it got very okay, never mind, there's my answer. The K-pop fans who requested it got very upset and angry with him, who do not understand that these are not the kind of tracks they should be requesting to rock channels. So you're very lucky to be having me, David. Be the one to guide you through Dreamcatcher's sonic journey and explain all of this as you react to them. Hopefully the K-pop fans reacting or watching your reactions with my intros will learn from this and request more from Dreamcatcher's 2017 to 2019 era to these other rock reaction channels, as they should not be forgotten, including the criminally overlooked non-single Mayday. That's really going to kind of be up to the viewers here. A lot of people, I hate to tell you this, Charles, a lot of people completely skip over my intros, and they even skip the reaction. They just go to my scored and see what I scored it. So you may be overestimating a number of viewers on this channel. Finally, I will note that since Dreamcatcher was also having more success in Japan, not surprised, than in South Korea with the Japanese versions of their songs, around the same time as the release of Deja Vu, not only did they also make a Japanese version of this tune, but Dreamcatcher started to release exclusive Japanese songs that not only kept the true mix of rock and pop, but even went much further with the rock sound than their Korean releases from 2017 to 2019. Aha! Those videos and tracks will be coming much later from me. Oh, thank God. I'm looking forward to hearing that. Those videos and tracks will be coming much later from me for you to react to. Until then, here is Deja Vu. Interesting. I'm looking forward to those Japanese releases for sure. Okay, so this was posted by Dreamcatcher Official. That's not a shock. And the video has 36 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Dreamcatcher, Deja Vu music video. So this is the end of the 2017 to 2019 darker, more rock-oriented era. Let's see if they end on a high note here. Let's see. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this. 너의 두 눈동자여 지난 모든 기억들을 지워줘 짙어진 안개 사이로 멀리 떠나온 길 시린 흔적만을 남긴 채 기억 끝을 잡아봐도 끝내 오래 더 오래 깊은 침묵에 잠들어 Oh now holding this pain 모든 걸 버린 그날처럼 늘 더 괴로워져 이 전부 거짓이길 잠시 스쳐가는 척하기길 젖은 눈물로 또 뒤늦은 후회로 또 돌아갈 수 있다면 yeah. So now I'm holding this pain 모든 걸 버린 그대처럼 더 선명해져 끝없이 눈앞에 Deja Vu Oh Deja Vu Oh Deja Vu Oh Deja Vu So I want it now 난 네 숨결이 허락되는 날까지 다시 너를 놓을 수 없어 우리 모든 순간 함께 할 테니 내 곁에서 믿어왔던 모든 진실이 거짓들로
I'm kind of digging it, but I'm kind of not. It's very centered on three things. Number one, the vocals. I get that. I understand that. You know, it's a girl group. It's a, you know, 7 female vocalists. I get that. You know, I expect that to be centered. Very much, however, relying very heavily on piano and electronic drums. Yeah, those are electronic drums. Absolutely. Those are not real drums in the verses and the first half of the pre-chorus. The second half of the pre-chorus, it starts to grow. You start to add more voicings in, including the distorted guitars and the bass. And then once we get into the chorus, it's you get the full rock sound. And oddly enough, that's when they transition into in the build through the pre-chorus, dun, 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 you start to hear the real drums start to come through. And then in the chorus, the real drums are coming through just fine. You can, like Charles was saying, 2019 is where they transitioned out of the K-pop/rock hybrid and went more into the EDM. You can definitely see the EDM influence coming into play here. You absolutely can see it. It's not dominating. It's not dominating the entire song, but it's definitely making its presence felt. You can see a transition. Comparatively to what they had with Chase Me. Doug Chase Me. Absolutely dug everything about that song. But this song, I was really kind of hoping they would end this era with a bang, and right now it's kind of fizzling. I'm just not. You can see the writing on the wall with this song. I hate to say it, but you can really see the writing on the wall of, you know, we're leaving this era and we're going to start heading in this direction. It's obvious with this song. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everything they're doing sounds fine. Everything they're doing sounds good. Everything they're doing makes sense. But there's absolutely no denying that you can't miss that transition. You just can't miss it. The verses in particular, very, very much. You could absolutely feel it in the transition there. And in the first, well, I'll just say the entire pre-chorus too. So 2/3 of the song right now are being dominated by that transitional feel of this is the new direction we're going to be going in the future. You know, here's a sampling of it. Here's a taste of things to come. Gotta be honest with you, I don't know if I'm digging that taste. Not particularly. No, a lot of digital. Anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Okay. I like the chorus. Okay. Oh, you tease!
And now I'm in my deja vu.
Man, we got those 16 measures of intensity, and I was like, oh, yes, let's end like this. Please, let's end like this. No. Tease. Just a tease. I wonder. Now, you know what? I'm going to save it for the review. I'm going to save it for the review. I'm going to save it all for the review. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Dreamcatcher with Deja Vu. This was a request from Charles B. And this was actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of May for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Charles. Hope you enjoyed the show. There's a lot to discuss, but I think I've managed to compress it as much as I can, so we're not going to be here for half an hour. I hope so. Let's start with the score first, and we'll go from there. But I'm not making any promises, guys. We may be here for less than 5 minutes, or we may be here for more than half an hour. I honestly have no idea, because I may just cut loose in a couple of places, and I make no apologies for doing it. So just get yourself comfortable. We may be here a while. Starting off with the score, though, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.8. What does that mean? Well, a 7.8 would translate to a really good skill rating. So overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go, a 7.8, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. Is this the best song that I think Dreamcatcher's ever written? Absolutely not. Is this one of my favorite songs from Dreamcatcher? Absolutely not. No, I was, to be honest with you folks, I really was not a fan of this song. I hate to say it, but the song's kind of forgettable. It lacked a lot of things. And here's the thing. And this is what I was going to say right at the end of the song. I was going to say this. I wonder if prior to writing and recording this song, I wonder if Dreamcatcher were told, as a collective, as a whole, by their management, by their record label, that enjoy it, ladies, because this is the last time we're going to be writing music like this, because we're going to go in a whole new direction. I wonder if that was brought up, because there's a lot of transition between what we heard from some of their other earlier stuff, 27s, like, for example, Chase Me, versus this, where we really started to see some EDM come into play. As far as voicings and approach go, maybe not necessarily from a songwriting standpoint, but definitely from an arrangement standpoint, from a voicing standpoint, synthetic drums right off the gun, along with a lot of keyboard usage, a lot of piano usage. More than half of the song was piano and electronic drums. I could see a transition between where we were with songs like, for example, Chase Me, to where we will eventually get more into the EDM. This really kind of felt like a transitional song. It really did. Charles even said it was kind of a bookend, and I could see that. I could see this being the last chapter in that era. You know, I don't know. Me personally, if I'm going to go out like that, I want to go out with a bang. And I'm sorry, this song was not a bang. This was more of a fizzle. This was more of a whimper. It had that, the chorus was nice, don't get me wrong. The chorus definitely had the rock attitude. It definitely had the rock sound. It had the rock voicings. It had the rock instrumentation. But that was pretty much it. Other than coming out of the bridge, when we came out of that bridge, going into that, now that one section, we had that 16 measure section where it was very much like Chase Me. It was very much of that rock feel, that rock sound, that rock attitude, that rock approach. And we got teased because we didn't finish. I really wish they had finished the entire song with that feel. You talk about going out with a bang, that would have been it. That would have been the exclamation point. Boom, dot that I, cross that T. That's the end of the era. And we're going to end on our terms with a bang, as hard as we possibly can before we transition. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. We went out with a little bit of a fizzle. To be clear, did they do anything wrong? No, they didn't do anything wrong from like a chordal progression standpoint, from a melodic line standpoint, from a songwriting standpoint. They didn't do anything wrong. Everything they played sounded good. Everything they played was pleasing to the ear. Absolutely, I will give credit where credit's due. But I'm just saying, you know, it was kind of a shame. You know, we had Chase Me, which was, I still stand by what I said earlier. I think Chase Me is my new favorite song from them. I really do, and I stand by it as it stands so far. I really enjoyed that song. And now to see that, and like Charles said, that was like 2017, and now this song 2019, and it just is kind of a shame. It really is. It's kind of anticlimactic in a way. But like I said, they didn't do anything wrong. They did everything just fine. Everything sounded good. As far as vocals go, their vocals sounded just fine on this recording. I mean, obviously, Pro Tools, you know, comes into play, I'm sure, to, you know, cut down on costs and cut down on time, because time is money. I'm sure Pro Tools was utilized quite a bit for what they had to do, but they didn't sing any notation. There was no notation within the main melodic or within the harmonic or counter melodic lines that sounded bad. Everything sounded good. It was nice to hear multiple voices used in various places. It wasn't just the same vocalist singing everything with just everybody coming on the chorus. So everybody had a chance to shine is what I'm trying to say. And that was nice. And I could hear it. I could hear the difference in the vocals. No, the song just was kind of a little bit of a letdown. And it's nothing against the girls. I don't think the ladies had a choice. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when I say be very careful, artists, when you sign a record contract. Just how much control you're giving up. I mean, most artists don't understand that when you sign a contract, oh yeah, that's every band's dream. Every band's dream is to sign a record contract. Not until you actually look at the contract and what it entails. I mean, yeah, you're going to make a whole lot of money up front, but guys, that's an advance. That money is going to be expected to be repaid. On top of that, you just signed over your likeness. You signed over all of your music, your entire music catalog. You signed over. This is typical, you know. Now, can exceptions be made? Sure. Look at the Warning. They worked it into their record label deal that they got to maintain the rights to all of their music that was written prior to them signing with Lava Records. Now, since then, there have been alterations to the contract, obviously, because I think another record label picked up their contract, and they're no longer under Lava anymore. They're under another, a bigger record label that has Lava under them, and I think that was reworked. But when you sign with a record label, guys, you have to be very careful and make sure you have representation, a lawyer that can explain everything to you in plain English, because there's a lot of jargon that are used in these record label contracts that if you're not paying attention and you don't know the jargon, you're going to be in for a real rude awakening later when your record label says, hey, by the way, the whole rock, you know, the rocker look for you, it really isn't working anymore. So we're going to put you in a leopard print spandex with a pink tutu with a lime green, wife beater, and that's going to be the new look for the band across the board. And guess what? You have no say in it. You have to do it. Otherwise, you're in breach of contract. So you just be very careful when signing those record labels, guys, because it can come back and bite you. And, you know, for the record label here to say, well, we're going to change the entire direction of your music and we're going to go more towards an EDM approach. That, man, that would really upset me if I were if I were a member of this band. I'd be looking at the record label and go, oh, really? Okay, well, that's fine. As soon as our contract is up, I'm out of here. So, I don't know, man. I just feel like the song was a little bit of a letdown. And like I said, I don't blame the Lays for that. They did the best they could with what they were given. But I definitely prefer the earlier 2017 era stuff without question. I loved Chase Me. I stand by that, saying that was my favorite song from these guys so far, without question. So yeah, 7.8. Nothing, like I said, a little bit of a letdown, but I don't know, maybe they'll come back around. It'll be nice. And like Charles said, we're going to be getting to some videos and tracks from them that were, you know, exclusive Japanese songs that were much harder, much heavier. I'm looking forward to those without question. But yeah, 7.8 for this song. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 7.8, which is a really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then, by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.